MatPat did an oopsie. Scott Cawthon did an oopsie. Arguably, I don't think either of them would use such a juvenile term to describe what they've done. Hey, what's up, dear loyal theorists? I'm Rhythm Rev here, and MatPat has done an oopsie, and this one, phew. So, about a week ago, MatPat did a scarce-styled double upload, and both had to do with fair use, copyright, and fan-made works. And whilst I don't have much to talk about in terms of his FNAF video, he remained mostly neutral throughout and made good points backed by professional research. The video in which he was on the defensive is quite the sight to behold. Right off the bat, we see an issue with the video's title, addressing game theory's biggest problem, which he even says in the video. Take a look.
Because if there's one complaint that I always see in online threads about why this channel makes them so mad and why they hate me so much, it's that I steal fan art. And I've never really publicly addressed that.
The most ironic thing with this statement is just how stupid it sounds. I get that titling a video was probably a pain, but saying that MatPat using fan art is his biggest problem is an incredible overstatement. There are a laundry list of other things people have criticized Matt for that are, at least personally, more damning, such as his repetitious FNAF videos and Undertale theories. I mean, he makes so many goddamn videos about these games, and it's probably most likely because it's guaranteed to get him views. The reason why the backlash from this issue, which still isn't a minor one mind you, seems to be much greater is that this is something that one can prove and argue with definitive evidence. The criticisms of Matt's content, it might seem minor because for every person willing to critique it, there's another that will defend Matt's actions. With this, however, it can be proven that this is not only morally gray, but it can also be proven that it has actually happened, leaving less room for argument. MatPat assumes that people see him as some sort of maniacal villain who is out to use your fan art without credit. In reality, it's much more mundane, but still isn't a cool thing to do. People see it as Matt, either intentionally or not, pulling a douchebag move and using someone else's work without proper credit. Matt tries, as he puts it, to put the situation in a human perspective, explaining how he once got into a little situation concerning his use of a fan-made Kirby Star Allies box artwork. Now, he tries to explain his error with his own anecdotal account, and at first glance, it seems like he should be given the benefit of the doubt. But once you actually look farther into the situation, his logic becomes more and more flawed. First off, MatPat mentions that upon further inspection, he found out that the Reddit user Cliché Name who made this fan-made box art of Kirby Star Allies. Matt admits that after he did more research into the user, he found that they made box artwork of various Nintendo Switch games. My question is, why didn't he do it sooner? It only takes a few clicks to see this, so why did MatPat not go look at this further, especially considering the point I am about to bring up? I get that it would be tedious to have to do this for every art asset used in game theory, but given his massive viewer base and popularity, the catch to having such luxurious things is being a larger target, and henceforth susceptible to more criticism more easily. Nobody ever said being a YouTuber is easy, and he should remain diligent. Also, I don't mean to trash talk Cliché Name's graphic design skills, but there are some big red flags that pop up when looking at this box art a little closer. Most glaring is the ESRB rating, which MatPat states adds to its legitimacy, which is ironic given it's a dead giveaway that the art is fan-made. The rating is stretched out, lower quality, and isn't cropped well. There is also an image used on the front of the box art that is derived directly from gameplay, which never happens on a video game cover art, at least most of the time. Not only that, but the spine is high quality, meanwhile the back is visibly of much less quality. And the lower half of the back is also filled with a few oddities as well. What I'm trying to assert here is that this doesn't look professional at all, if you even spend even a couple minutes inspecting it. I'll give MatPat the benefit of the doubt when he says that he assumed that it was an alternate version of the box art, since not only does Kirby have a long history with this, but many Nintendo Switch games have alternate box art printed on the back of normal box art. However, he really should have known better, and hell, I'm probably as much of a graphic artist as MatPat is. So he should have identified these things as well. He didn't admit to the possibility of the mistakes being a simple error on his part, but tries to make his situation out to be worse, and him more helpless than it really is in actuality. Now, what he does next is honestly pretty comical, in a sad sort of way, really. He goes on this small tangent talking about how artists used to thank him for using their art in game theory. He then goes on to say that there was one event that led to the change in the way artists saw their work being used. Smike. MatPat, are you freaking kidding me, dude? He states that Smike's use of fan art in his video is what led to artists now disliking the use of their work in videos, especially if uncredited. Not only that, but he also teases and prods Smike for his content that he made during the FNAF craze. Like, I don't know if you know this, MatPat, but when you're trying to have this kind of one-on-one with your audience and trying to defend yourself, you shouldn't go and critique another content creator at the same time. It's just not a good look, bud. Also, no, Smike is not the reason why the relationship between YouTuber and artist has changed. Perhaps most artists now realize that they own their work and should exercise their right to shun anyone who uses it without credit or permission. I know that it's arguable that they own the rights to their artwork, but the point still stands that they created it and maybe don't want YouTubers using it scot-free. It's kind of a crazy idea, I know, not letting more popular internet stars just use your work and all you should do is feel starstruck. Also, sorry to kind of go on a small tangent here, but MatPat makes a lot of references to things that he does that people often criticize him for. Pointing out your flaws doesn't solve them, and if he was trying to be funny, then it completely failed. I get what MatPat is trying to assert in this video, but I simply feel that his argument really falls flat when you actually take the time to examine the situation much further and apply more logic to it. Sorry for this kind of short video, guys. I'll try to come out with something more impactful next. But hey, that's just a theory. A gay theory. Thanks for watching.